Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Reach. Saw that on my Twitter the other day. Whale Panda, shout out. That was very funny. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Alright, jumping right into the crypto market. Bitcoin all-time high as we creep closer to that 250 billion foreseen mark. How are the altcoins doing? Bitcoin Cash is actually holding on around 11, 12. Keeps on fluctuating around there. Ethereum holding steady, 370. Haven't seen this in quite a while. Usually when Ethereum goes up, it comes down. A very crazy ecosystem built around Ethereum where people are buying to get in ICOs. And now you're starting to see more and more news. Things get hot, they cool off, and then they get hot again. It's kind of how crypto is. I feel like Ethereum is starting to progress. Maybe once it hits 400 this time, it stays there. I'm not sure. Moving down, Dash had a big old pump. Rumors say because Palm Beach report, the one that charges $3,000 for a report, they announced it, and pretty much every time they announce something, it just booms. I myself have nothing against Dash. I have just never really been a fan of Dash or really Litecoin. I mean, I'm investing in Litecoin now just to hedge against Bitcoin. I'm thinking worst case scenario, if something catastrophic happened to Bitcoin, who would be the recipient? Probably Litecoin and Dash. Litecoin, in my opinion, would probably be the bigger one. And I just don't really see it going down. I just think it's a safe bet. I'm not putting a lot in Litecoin. I made the video when I was talking during the fiasco when Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin almost touched in price. I mean, it got really close there. Bitcoin Cash almost up to 3,000. Bitcoin down to about 5,400. And I decided, okay, well, time to move a little bit out of Bitcoin and Litecoin. Still have a ton of Bitcoin. Still have zero Bitcoin Cash. Still doing the research. I will update. If I was to ever buy Bitcoin, if it was to ever get to a point where I was to buy some Bitcoin Cash, I would let people know. Because that's the thing, for people who find my channel, this isn't a news channel. It's not what it is. This is a documentary. This is me talking to myself every day. This is what I can do consistently. I don't write a script. I just do me. I like to look back. If I had 0 viewers, I would still be making these videos because I'm making them for myself. I enjoy looking. I wish I would have done this my whole life. I really enjoy looking back at the videos and seeing how my mood was. Because, some days I'm different. I'm human. Some days I'm mad. Some days I'm happy, whatever, but I'm getting on, doing me, unrelentless. I'm not, I really don't care because I'm just doing it for myself. Right, guys? And it's cool because it's just like an open invitation for anybody to watch. And that's really cool. I met some really cool people. But if you're looking for like news and stuff like that, there's a million other channels out there that are really, really good, that are a lot better than me. It's like they're a lot better at me telling the news. It's not what I do. I'm just doing a documentary. So I hope you guys, I don't hope, if you enjoy, or if you don't, it doesn't really fucking matter. Just, I'm here doing me. Now, going down, Neo, it just shows you how emotional the market is, because with Neo, you got a little bit of a weird leaked tweet or whatever, and then it just absolutely kabooms, and then the news was not that big of a deal. I mean, it kind of was, but they have that Neon exchange coming out. They have a lot, there was the Microsoft news. There's a lot of little rumors, nothing set in stone. So a lot of people, buying the rumors, selling the news. I wasn't even trying to think that way, because if there was a 1% possibility that, when China opens up ICOs, if they were to go through NEO, this coin would absolutely explode. And I'm at the point, so there gets to be 2 points in life that I've realized. When you don't have a lot of money and you're coming up, then you're all in. Like you're buying the rumors, selling the news every time, right? You don't have time to fuck around. But then as you build and you get to the other side of it, you get to the point where it's like, well, I've already won, so I'm not really trying to fuck around. And the last thing I want to do is sell the news and then the news be really good and the coin just goes to $100 and never comes back. Remember when Monero was like 40, 50 bucks? Yeah, I said Monero this time. I didn't say Marino. I find that shit funny as hell, though. When I listen back to my videos and I fuck up a name, I'm the first one laughing at myself. Remember when Monero was 50 bucks? It's not going back to 50 bucks again, guys. It's just kind of the example. Remember when, Neo was Ant shares and it was like $5? That was when I was first getting I had Neo since it was Ant shares, guys. And I don't know, I'm not really a fan of selling the news that much anymore. I'm more of just a fan of getting cheap coins and hodling and then working and grinding. And yeah, I still trade. Obviously, so like, let's say I bought I still use basically my old principles. If you go back to my June videos, I still use the same principle where I keep a nest egg and I trade with a little bit. So I'll keep something in my hot wallet and on exchanges, and that's just money to flip around, right? Just buy good coins, flip, sell, make money, kind of like work, right? And then I hodl, and I don't fuck with this stuff, this nest egg. I just put it away, and it just collects dust, and I forget about it. And I'm not, like the EOS I got at 50 cents. I'm just collecting dust. Yeah, I sold some EOS at $2 actually, and I planned on buying back some at 190 something if it ever dips. But if it doesn't, that's fine because I just have Bitcoin. But I have a whole bunch of EOS. That's the whole point. Like, I'm not moving. It's just play money, because at one point it could be EOS and then it could be easily QTOM. I got QTOM I was getting QTOM about $8-9, and I'm not selling it because I think that it's due. I think it's just due. It's one of the more sophisticated coins. It has a lot of volume because it's on BitThumb. That's one of the big things about QTOM. If you go and look at the volume doesn't play. It was stunting on Neo because Neo only had about 40, 50 mil, but after all this stuff, the volume has really picked up. And wait till they get on one of these really big exchanges. Who was it? Somebody got on a huge exchange. It might have been Neo. I'm not sure. Somebody got on a really big Chinese exchange. I forgot who it was, though. And I forgot the name of the exchange. Started with an H. But Neo's volume's coming from Bittrex. But just wait till Neo gets on BitThumb. Then you got a $100 coin, in my opinion. It's just, once you get to those really big exchanges, you think Bittrex is big, man. Bittrex is not that big. I mean, it is, but, there's a lot bigger out there. And it's kind of Bitfinex, but there's a lot of drama with Bitfinex right now. But then BitThumb is always first for Bitcoin Cash, and it's always, it's always going to be in the top 3 for Bitcoin. Let's see. I mean, you don't even need to look. Of course, it's BitThumb. Yeah, I mean, I would bet any amount of money that would have been BitThumb. Yeah. So, onG, the new UI snuck out. I love No Limit Coin. I've done a lot of work No Limit Coin. I continue, but I've learned my lesson from you wanna under promise and over deliver, right? And I started to give myself, that's a really good philosophy. And basically the due date for this UI was the end of the year. So you do the math, a month and a half early. You can already see, and we already have, like, this thing is just, we're throwing it up here. We're taking all the feedback. This thing is just absolutely, if you remember the old onG, look at this one. You're going to have ICO pages. You're going to have crypto news everywhere. This is going to be a news feed, right, where this is real news and it's going to be fact checked. And whoever fact checks it, you get money for that shit. It's like a whole new ecosystem to keep the news real. It's going to be the most badass platform you've ever used. Encrypted messaging. You're going to be able to send files and messages encrypted. Imagine that. All the power. It's like having a very high-tech social, like, tank, like weaponry, where you can send messages privately. Nobody has your data. No one's selling your data. You're not being leached off of. Look at I love the side where you can like stuff right there. Boom. Getting this, I'm getting all the filters are getting cleaned out. So you're not going to show every little thing that people do. But yeah, you create groups, Facebook pages. I mean, everything. We're going to have integration where you can sign up to you can post to all medians. It's just going to be like your badass safe zone. It's going to be like your home. You know, it's your crypto home online where you don't have to worry about anyone spying on your messages. You can send messages private. It's just going to be so cool. I'm so impressed by it. I think it looks better than Facebook already. I can't wait. We already have version 2. Just like with No Limit Coin, we already got version 2 on the way. And there's a lot of big news for No Limit Coin coming out. Obviously, I can't say it all. There's so much big news always coming out, right? But just wanted to show that, put in the work. onG is absolute, just wait for I have so much information. It's like, I want to just burst with all the information, but, I can't because then no one would trust me with the information. So 999, guys. It's 999. They're trying to pull that sales trick on you, right? Instead of $10, you go $9.99. Holler at BitShares. That was a nice buy, right? And I know people, I talk about what I've bought, but it's kind of hard. Like right now, that's the thing. If I buy something, I tell you. If I don't, then it's probably because I'm not buying anything. There's not any really good sales, and I'm setting lures. Like I said in yesterday's video, I thought Syscoin was a good buy. I still think it's a good buy. I'm setting lures. I don't really like to say my lure spots anymore because I just get finagled. People just pile in front of me, so it's not too fun. This is a steal, though. It's almost a spear. It's almost a spear. I almost want to throw a spear at this bad boy. At the same time, I'm reluctant to throw spears when Bitcoin's on an uncapped bull run. And what that means is we don't know. Bitcoin could easily go to 10,000. We have, it's very, very tough to say, this thing could just absolutely go parabolic. If that was the case, the altcoins are going to lose value every time. Now, the same is true if Bitcoin was to go on a dip, because we are breaking all-time high after all-time high. And the reason is all this Wall Street, all this money's pouring in, and Bitcoin does have the highest cap. So when you look at Bitcoin, like I said in all my videos, nothing's going to ever surpass Bitcoin when it comes to overall ROI. Bitcoin is money. There's a lot more to the Bitcoin and the blockchain. People look at it as just money. That's just the tip of the iceberg. Bitcoin, the blockchain is absolutely going to destroy everything because, as Andreas says, no one's going to use FedCoin. Everyone's going to be using this decentralized open source blockchain. The blockchain's only as powerful as the people using it, right? If you don't have anyone using your network, you don't have the network effect. You can get hacked and stumbled and just absolutely destroyed. That's why Bitcoin's so powerful. It is the future. It is going to overthrow governments. It is going to change the world forever, and there's nothing anyone can do about it because the people have spoken. Now, with that said, it has a big cap, trillions. There's not a market cap that's bigger than with potential than Bitcoin. So you're out of your mind if you think you're going to buy an altcoin that's going to outperform Bitcoin. And now people listen to that, they're like, but damn, that sounds mighty bad. That means I should just sell all my altcoins and buy Bitcoin and HODL, right? Well, yeah, you can do that, and you probably turn out great. But guess what? Did I make my millions buying one Bitcoin when I had $1,000, which wasn't even enough for a Bitcoin? Did I make all that money by buying one little Bitcoin and hodling it like a little nitty person? Is that how I made all my money? Because if I did that, I'd have a whopping, $10,000 right now. Whoop-de-fucking-do. I'd have a whopping 10 grand. I made my fucking money by alt hopping, by doing what I do, by timing the markets, by knowing when the alts are always going to do this, guys. The alts are always going to do this. I'm not saying Ethereum in general, but the alts are always going to do this. You see this? That means it's rising in price faster than Bitcoin is. And then it goes down. But this isn't permanent. Just like this wasn't permanent. What if these guys thought, I'm just going to buy Bitcoin and hodl because nothing's ever going to outpace Bitcoin. Oh, what the hell? Oh my God, why didn't I buy Ethereum? That's what happens. And the same thing can happen just as easily at any moment to make a giant Batman head for the Bitcoin category. So you have to time these right. However, if you listen to my videos, I've talked about Bitcoin as this giant. You look at my mouse. This is the head. These are the shoulders. This is the giant, right? He's climbing up a ladder. This is a ladder. And he's just climbing. That's what the giant. So ladder up the mountain to decentralized victory. And when we're just climbing, we're climbing. Where are the altcoins? The altcoins are on the shoulders of Bitcoin. Why is that? Because Bitcoin rises everything else, because it's not so much Bitcoin going up in price as it is the dollar going down in price. The more they print, the higher this gets by default. by default, because there's more dollars being spent in the ecosystem. That means this is always going to go up in value. Even if Bitcoin itself doesn't become any more popular, if no user of Bitcoin, if we just stayed where we were, just by the inflationary measures of all the world's currencies, it's so funny. Zimbabwe is trying to make Bitcoin illegal. I fucking wonder why. That's why it's going for like 15,000 there last time I checked. There's not much volume, but it doesn't matter. It's a poor country. So, them willing to pay that kind of a premium is very, it just screams out what's really happening. And the point I'm trying to make, the alts are on the shoulder of Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's dragging everyone up the fucking mountain. However, these altcoins are cheering Bitcoin on. Look at what they're doing. They're like, you can do it, Bitcoin. You're the best. And sometimes Bitcoin has to fucking stop and take a rest. And while they're doing that, the altcoins are like, you can do it, best. Look what they're doing. They're going up and they're going down. They're going up. They're going down. Now, if you can catch them when they're going up, you're going to be able to get more gains. Now, people can say, okay, what about no limit coin? Bitcoin's been going up. No limit coin's been staying the same. Well, what happens when no limit coin goes on a bull run? All right, first example. What happens when Bitcoin goes on a bull run? 50%, 100% max, right? What happens when no limit coin goes on a bull run? 100%, 200%, 500%, 1,000%. Now, the whole key is being in before that happens. And sometimes it's very hard to be in a coin before that happens, to be on it before the big news, right? It's very hard, especially if you're not paying attention to all these different coins. So there's a very fine line between selling to gain the Bitcoin rises. And then what happens after, out of nowhere, right? You decided, okay, I'm just going to go into Bitcoin, and you've been hodling these altcoins all this time. And then out of nowhere, one just goes parabolic, right? One just goes absolutely insane, and you miss out on life-changing money. I'm not talking about 2 or 3x. I'm talking about these coins are some of these altcoins are so cheap right now. Bitcoin is too, but some of them are so undervalued that there's still life-changing money to be made. And that's the danger you play, right? Like I said, I didn't make all my money by hodling Bitcoin. I made all my money by making the right calls with altcoins and knowing what's happening now isn't permanent. What happening now doesn't mean, just because Bitcoin's kicking altcoins' asses now, doesn't mean altcoins are going to be down forever. I've seen this story. I've studied the history. I understand just from a fundamental point of view how this is going to work. This is my fucking, this is, like I said, it's in financial advice. This is me doing me. This is me spitting out my perception on what I strongly believe is to be correct. And I'm putting my money where my mouth is, So I'm heavily invested. Like I said, EOS went up 200%. Bitcoin didn't do that. I had to be right when everyone was not buying EOS, when it was at 50 cents and buying Bitcoin. I made more money off the money I put in EOS a month ago than the money I put in Bitcoin a month ago. I've made more money. So, and that wasn't even a month ago. That was just 2 weeks ago. This has happened with EOS. You just have to time it right. Now EOS could stay at $2 for 2 months, and Bitcoin could go to 16 grand. That could easily happen. And then what happens? EOS just goes to $4, $5, $6 for some reason, right? And then you're like, well, fuck. So you're going to drive yourself mad trying to time this. And if I was a little scrapper, I had a little bit of cash, and I was just, my older self or my younger self, I was just to go back in time and take that self and put myself in this time where, it's definitely more hectic. I would just have to be hyper focused and leaving my nest eggs and fucking making that 30-40% that I'm playing with rise as fast as possible. That's what I would be doing. But I've never sold my nest eggs ever. I still have nest eggs from when I still started and I had $5 grand in my account before I even had a whole Bitcoin. I still have nest eggs from then. The Sia coin, the Digibyte that's in my Bittrex account, that shit's like 4 months, 5 months old. That's from the very beginning. And that's the principles, right? Like, back then it was worth 3 or 4 times. Digibytes went down 4 or 5x in value. I bought it, I was new in the game. You learn. Like, I didn't come in like fucking Jack, I didn't come in just like the Terminator, just fucking everything up. I came in head first, and I had bruises, and I was picking splinters out of my cheeks because I went head first. I'm the one that failed more than anybody. I wanted to fail more. I fucking failed quicker and harder than anyone ever could. I didn't give a fuck. I was running head first and everything. Bruises and all. I lost a lot of money. I got scammed a lot of times. Not a lot of times getting straight up scammed, but, I've made a lot of just rookie errors because that's what you do when you're a rookie. So you can't be afraid to fail. And I'm not afraid to lose my last dollar. And I'm not afraid to, if I did lose my last dollar, to go out and make some more at any way possible, because I know it's patience. I sense a time right now, we just had a big boom. I sense the age of bullshit right now. And this age of bullshit is going to last about a month or two. It's already happened, the last month or two with the ICOs. And then I think early next year, you're going to see another crop of really, really good ICOs, of really good products, because I think people right now, these are the ICOs you're going to see next year are the people who didn't gold hop. Meaning they're not trying to rush the process and have an ICO like ASAP right now. These guys, they've been developing it, right? Because anyone can have an ICO right now if you think about it. So the ones that happen next year, some of them are going to be the more thought out ones. Some of them are going to be the guys who were more patient and said, hey, we're not going to rush it. So I think like right now, the few ICOs that I'm in, it's slim pickings right now. I think that's going to change in about 2 or 3 months. And we're going to have another golden era. People are always thinking, man, I'm missing out. Missing out on what, man? Stop worrying about what you're fucking missing, or you're going to keep missing out. You got to fucking eyes on the road, man. Eyes on the road. Look at the signs. The signs will tell you where to go. Stop looking. It's like you're driving and you're looking in your rearview mirror the whole time. You're missing the directions. You're missing the cues, the signs. They're everywhere. Study. I mean, I can't. This is, preaching to myself. Whoever wants to listen, cool. But yeah, I'm going to kill it there. Cheers. Peace.